Hello and welcome to a very special 1st of December episode of Talk of the Crown. What episode are we on now? I normally write it down. The 34th episode since I rebranded my weekly talk show. I've actually been doing them for almost 2 years now. Wow, I can't believe it. But this is episode 34 of Talk of the Crown. If you are new, I know I have lots of new subscribers. I am here every Saturday, unless I tell you otherwise, at 10 o'clock GMT, which is British time, Greenwich Mean Time. So just do a quick Google search and you can find out when I am live for you. If you can't manage to catch me or you're busy, you can always watch on Catch Up later at your convenience, because these chats do tend to get a little bit long. You can use me a bit like a podcast while you're doing your housework. You can just listen to me. And everything, you will understand everything. So yes, every single week without fail. And oh my goodness, what a voluptuous royal week it has been, full of fakery and trickery, which we will get to in a moment. Oh, by the way, do you like the new camera angle? I've actually managed to raise the camera up slightly, so hopefully you get a better angle and a better view. I want to find the chat room because the most important thing is you guys, because that's why I'm here. Where is the chat room? Come on, computer. Do not fail on me. Aha, here we are. I have found me at last. Right, I definitely want the live chat. So, hello to everyone. I am not going to go through all the hellos this week because it literally takes up so much time that I get really far behind. So just, if you have said hello to me, hello to you all, and I will give you a big fan flap. The format of the chat, if you're new, is really simple. You can just say hello. You can write a comment, any question that you've got. But please try not to repeat questions that I've already answered because it does delay things in the chat. And on that note, we have 2 new moderators. One of them is with us tonight. The other is not. But the first new moderator is EAO. Say hello, EAO. And I will give you a fan flap. So we have a new moderator, EAO, who will help keep everything nice and on track, in addition to His Majesty the King, Jamie, as we all know. And also we have Lady Buckingham, who can't be with us tonight, but she gets a fan flap anyway. So welcome to our new moderators, who, of course, will be doing a fabulous job keeping everything nice for us and our own enjoyment. Where are you guys? I want to see what you're all talking about. Rodney says, hope that you've had a blessed week thus far. I enjoyed the pop-up chats this week. I really enjoy doing those pop-up chats. They're really exciting, and it allows me to tackle lots of current issues and have a really good discussion about them, and kind of working things out in my own head about if things are true or fake, the different scenarios. So I'm really pleased that you enjoy them. Sue Miller says, hello everyone. Aren't the Christmas decorations in Windsor Castle wonderful? Yes, they are. And those of you who watched my Sheridan bouquet video, B-U-C-K-E-T, pronounced bouquet, will know I did a video on how not to have a tacky Christmas. And one of my rules was you cannot put your tree up before December the 17th. Or rather, that was one of Sheridan's rules. But shh, don't tell him, because I put my tree up earlier than that too, so shh, don't tell Sheridan. But the 17th is the official date when you should really, I suppose, put them up. It's so that it can last, if you have a real tree, that it can last all the way through to 12th night. So it does have actually a purpose. It's not just being snobby. But the Queen has put her trees up early in Windsor Castle because of the tourists, because obviously lots of tourists come into Windsor Castle. It's open all year round. So you can go and see these fabulous Christmas decorations that the Queen has had put up. There's a massive, I believe it's 20-foot tree in St George's Hall. And he also has other trees and decorations too, which look absolutely amazing and fabulous. So if you are a tourist and you just want to go and have a look, and you're in the area, do go to Windsor Castle. It is open, even though it's Christmas. The Queen, of course, spends her private Christmas at Sandringham, and we'll see when she leaves for Sandringham. But it is a private royal Christmas. We will only kind of see them, a few comings and goings, and of course on Christmas morning, which I will bring you all the latest on when it's Christmas Day. Angelica says, dear Elliot, hope you are fine. Why do the younger royals insist so much on privacy and a normal life. They are meant to be seen and enjoyed. Well, they're humans. They are humans too. And I think everyone is entitled to a little bit of privacy. See, this is where we get a little bit confused between someone who is born into a position and a celebrity. A celebrity kind of chooses that destiny. Not so much if you're royal, you're kind of born into it, and you know it's drilled into you about the sense of duty. If you're a celebrity, you kind of court a lot of media attention. You put yourself on that pedestal to be viewed. I'm not saying celebrities shouldn't have their own privacy, but you know they court it, they covet it a lot. In the royals, yes, they do need media attention. They do, of course, court it too, but that's only to kind of further their own royal work. And of course, like if we take, for example, Meghan's cookbook, without the media, nobody would have known about it, and she wouldn't have been able to have helped all those people. So the media is important, and getting that attention is important. However, there is a difference between when you're working and when you're just not working, when you're privately at home. And I think everybody is entitled to a little bit of privacy, or else life literally would be in a goldfish bowl. H. London likes the Christmas decorations at Windsor and says they're beautiful and breathtaking. And I'd like to see them in person too. Floss and Rog Payne is racing through the chores so you can put your feet up and enjoy the chat and company. Well, please do. Hello to Sue in Oregon. Sorry if I'm skipping all the hellos this week. Annetta, Annette, not Annetta. Where did I get Annetta from? Says, I too think thank the Queen for her condolences to George Bush Sr., but he served our country with dignity and respect. Wish it was the same for the other we have now. Has he not issued a message of condolence? I find that rather strange. Hello to Margaret, and you're having Irish breakfast tea. Mrs. BSN says, those in the States hope you had a nice Thanksgiving if you celebrate. Well, we spoke about this last week, and I hope everyone did have a lovely Thanksgiving, or just remembered something that you can be thankful for in your own life. And yes, I agree, it is very sad about President Bush. I believe he was 94. Christine said, I wonder what Sheridan is doing. Well, he's probably putting his feet up in his favourite pair of silk pyjamas. Tracy said, I'm so happy to be on here and visit with people from all over the world. That's one of the best things about this chat. And you're thankful for me for having the channel. Well, I'm thankful for you for watching me for having the channel, if that makes sense. EAO has said no politics, people. Laurie Clark says, hey, Elliot, love getting the notification. You've been very busy this week. I have indeed. Lots of late breaking news. Well, that's the one thing about the royals. You know, lots of statements and all kinds of things come out quite late. In fact, the one from the Queen to the people of America about President Bush Sr., get my words out, came out only literally, what, half an hour ago? So you have to be quite on it. Kelly likes a new camera angle. Well, I've kind of just propped the computer up on a box. It's very low tech. Marie D says, looking very festive. Well, thank you so much. And you're loving the ensemble. Annette says, any thoughts on why Meghan isn't attending the upcoming production with Harry? Well, there has been lots of talk about this. I was going to make a separate video, but I'll talk here and I'll still make a separate video because it's quite hard for people to find things in a big 1.5 hour plus chat. So Harry is attending, and what was the name of it again? I haven't ever seen this before. What was it called? I've got it written down. Oh yeah, Bat the Musical. I've never heard of Bat the Musical, so I have no idea what it's about. But he is attending Bat the Musical on December the 6th. Now, as far as I'm aware, it was never ever intended that Meghan was going to go anyway. So it's not as if Meghan's was going and then she's pulled out of going. I don't think it was anything like that. Why is she not going? I mean, they are not joined at the hip. They do have their own solo program of engagements. And I'm probably thinking the reason why he's on his own is probably because whatever Bat the musical. I really don't know what it is. Whatever Bat the musical is about, can someone tell me what it's about? I've not had time to research it. Whatever it's about, I can imagine is probably more in tune with his line of work than it is Meghan's. Maybe she just wants to put her feet up. Maybe she doesn't fancy a night out at the theatre. It could just be as simple as that. I don't think there's anything untoward, although I'm sure loads of stories will come up about this and that and the other. But officially, I don't think she was ever supposed to go anywhere. I haven't found any evidence of that. And I don't think there's any particular reason as why she wouldn't. It's not as if she's been suddenly taken down ill, because obviously, you know, this event is a couple of days in the future. So I don't. Who knows? It probably is just that it's a better fit for Harry and his solo program of engagements. Meghan will have her own solo program of engagements, and I'm sure in the future she will be going to individual events on her own, just the same as Catherine does, as William does, as Prince of Wales does, as the Duchess of Cornwall does. It is normal and everything is okay. I think it's just because it's Meghan, things get blown up recently out of all proportion. Thank you for all the comments on the outfit. Hello to Kathy G and everyone else. Okay, I'm skipping through a few comments. Lots of people saying hello to EAO and making her feel very welcome. Laurie Clark says, is there some kind of flowchart for employees, servants, positions for people who work in the royal family? Well, I did read a really good book. I have a really good book. I think it was called The Royal Family at Work, and there was a documentary about it too. But in the book, I think it goes through the kind of servants things. So maybe I could do a little piece on that for you, which might help, because obviously it's quite hard to just describe it without a visual. H. London says, welcome to the best YouTube channel and chat room. Well, thank you so much. Ablaze says, love the special video on not having a tacky Christmas. You laughed all the way through. Well, it was kind of meant to be a little bit tongue-in-cheek. I wasn't actually being serious that you should, you know, not have a tinsel on your tree and all that business. It is etiquette. It is true those things are etiquette. However, you can have whatever type of Christmas you want. And if you want a fully tacky Christmas, then you go ahead and you have your own fully tacky Christmas. In fact, I would love to see your tacky Christmases. I'm going to have to find somewhere. Oh, you could. I'll find somewhere where you can send me your pictures of your tacky Christmas. Please do. And by the way, I love fiber optic trees. They're very calming and relaxing. Candice says, I'm back. I'm glad. Your daughter's wedding is over and your family from Bristol have returned. Hope you're doing really well. I am, thank you so much. And I'm glad the wedding went well. Annette says, okay, I'll ask again. Please don't get upset. I won't, I promise. But please tell me the stealing of Meghan's diary was fake news. Well, I haven't looked into it. However, how could she lose her diary? That's the bit that doesn't kind of check out with me. I have heard the story, but I haven't really looked into it. I haven't read the article that says, because obviously sometimes it's royal insider this, royal source this, blah, 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 blah. And I can usually tell by those kind of words whether something's true or not. I haven't had time to look into it. I really want to make a separate pop-up video on all the different rumours and things that are going around. So I will include that in there. But tentatively, I would probably say it's not true. I mean, there hasn't been anything in the UK on the news on the official news channels on our terrestrial TV about Meghan's diary being stolen, about there being a theft. So I'm imagining it is fake, but I will investigate. But I tentatively say fake news. Christina says, when will the variety show be on? I haven't checked again. Oh, check ITV program schedule, ITV program scheduling. I did check a week or so ago and they still hadn't announced it. I haven't checked recently, maybe they have, but I haven't heard of a release date. But if someone could just go and check really quickly, that would help. Janet Fox loved Sheridan's How Not to Have a Tacky Christmas. Thank you for all the comments on the outfit again. Jojo says, not a word to Sheridan. Your lips are sealed. Don't tell him. Shh. Or else he won't be my friend. He'll disown me. H. Luna says, when you said tourists, I thought you said Taurus. No Tauruses. Your English accent is so beautiful. I love listening to you. No Tauruses allowed at Windsor Castle. Natalie Jean says, I feel that there is a concerted effort to destroy Meghan's reputation. They are certainly trying something. I mean, if it's not one thing, it's another. They're definitely going down the angle of her being bossy, controlling. I mean, this story about St. George's Chapel smelling. I mean, it's an old building. Of course, it's going to smell a little bit musty. They do. But I actually kind of, maybe I do believe that she may have wanted it to smell nice. I mean, it's not an unreasonable thing to ask for, is it? You know. But one thing I do keep going back to is going back to the wedding in Westminster Abbey, which arguably is even more important than St. George's Chapel at Windsor. It has major, you know, kings, queens, all kinds of things buried there. It is one of the, you know, the central abbey of the country where so much focus is on. And guess what happened at Catherine and William's wedding? They had how many full-size trees installed in Westminster Abbey? And I'm thinking to myself, what is a little bit more drastic? Full-size trees being allowed in an abbey, or a little bit of, what were they called? Atomizers, or a little bit of room spray to make things smell nice? I mean, it just doesn't kind of check out. You know, if they allowed full-scale trees in Westminster Abbey, why wouldn't they allow a little bit of nice-smelling air in St. George's? I don't get it. They already, well, if the story is to be believed, it said that the atomizers or whatever the spray wasn't going to damage anything in there. It was just on principle that the Queen and that the palace thought that it was inappropriate. Another word was, if it's good for the Queen and the royals, then it should be good enough for Meghan. Again, it's kind of playing into that narrative of her being demanding and being brash and American and all this, that, and the other. I just don't buy it. I actually think if she'd have probably asked for a little bit of nice smelling air, why would they not? Why would they have been against it? I don't get it. Like I said, if they allowed full-size trees into the Abbey, a little bit squirt of air freshener here and there, I mean, it's, in my mind, not even comparable. But anyway, I digress. I'm just skipping through. Nora says, thanks for the pop-up vlogs. The Cambridges and Sussexes need space from all the garbage that keeps being thrown at them by the media. Give them a break. Their families need space. I agree. It's becoming now a little bit ridiculous. And also, I would like to comment on a lot of the YouTube channels that actually put out all of this fake news are now turning the tables after they've put out the fake news. A day or so later, they then come back with another video saying how people are being hurtful to Meghan. I think I saw a hashtag, you know, don't be mean to Meghan or something of that nature. You know, I've seen in a video, if you like this, if you agree that Meghan shouldn't be picked on, give the video a thumbs up. They're now turning their own fake news, flip-sided over into this, that they care about Meghan and all. Don't be fooled. They don't care about Meghan. They're just literally putting out fake rubbish and then going back on it to get even more views. It is ridiculous. It's becoming a circus. It's horrible. It really is. Thank you to Leonlet Woody. I hope I said that correctly. Who says I'm looking handsome? Thank you. And yes, I believe he was 94. That's George Bush Sr. Stephanie says, yes, Trump has sent his condolences. Well, there you go. Sonia says, the worst fake news I've seen this week was a YouTube video claiming Harry was denouncing his title. And they were off to America to raise the baby. I didn't even bother clicking into it. Yes, I think I've seen the thumbnail and the title, but I didn't click on it. And yes, that is most definitely fake news. There's so much of it about, and you can usually tell if something is or not from the title. And yes, please don't forget to give a big old thumbs up. H. London says, we must all remember gossip and rumours sell advertising. Please do not click on the channels that have such awful titles. That alone is telling and a warning, which is what I've just said. Arnold Sanders says, all the tabloids that have paid the Markles for stories, The Sun, The Mirror, The Daily Mail, Piers Morgan, are all out to get Meghan. I saw the video of them from GMB. A lot of those medias that you mentioned are the ones that are putting out all these stories. So I kind of have to concur with you. Palmer Lee Stevens says, so cool that we're so worldly. We are indeed. Sorry if I get the names wrong. This screen is so tiny. Look, I'm reading from a very tiny screen. Marlene says, am I the only one dying to see Meghan's natural hair if she ever shows it off? Well, we kind of have seen it. If you look at her, childhood photos, teen photos, you see her natural hair. But I know what you mean. You want to see it on her now. And I feel probably the same way. I would like to see it, but of course that's her choice. How she looks is totally down to her. Like I've spoken about it before, there is, I know in America, for example, a big movement on natural hair. Whether she will or not, I don't know. Whether being pregnant will, make her think that's a good idea, I don't know. I'm sure there are lots of natural ways you can still straighten your hair. But yes, I would like to see her natural hair too. Sanju says, how about my health? Am I really fine? I'm a lot better than I've been, yes, and I'm eating properly again now. But still drinking water. And that went down the wrong way. Christine says, I heard another one that said Meghan wanted air fresheners. Well, I've just spoken about that. Sandra says, I have seen a quiet change in the Duchess of Cambridge. The future Princess of Wales and the Duchess of Sussex have different roles. Each woman understands and will fulfill her position admirably. I am sure that there are no tensions between the Duchesses or the brothers. They don't have to be bosom buddies. I'm talking about Catherine and Meghan. They are two very different people. And of course, they have separate lives. They aren't necessarily going to be just like that. But it doesn't mean that that's wrong. It doesn't mean that they can't. And it doesn't mean they don't like each other. It just means that they aren't naturally best buddies. But again, we don't really know what goes on behind closed doors. They may very well get on and meet regularly, but that kind of thing would never be reported. Mrs. BSN says, I hate to ask this question, but at the time when the Queen passes, will you have a live chat or no? Yes, I will. We have become like a royal follower family and would need to connect and share good memories. Yes, I would. I would probably have an emergency live chat, whatever day it's on, whenever it happens. But I know we don't want it to happen for a very long time. Kelly says, very clever with repositioning the camera. The littlest thing can be the biggest thing. I just propped it up on a shoebox, basically. That's what it is. It's a shoebox. But I think the angle before was looking kind of up at me, and this is more level. And the reason why I haven't got it on a tripod is because my webcam, this is filmed on a webcam, doesn't fit on the tripod and it just falls off. So I've kind of got the webcam on top of the laptop, on top of a shoebox, on top of a table. Yes. In fact, actually, shall I take a picture of it? I'm going to take a picture of it and put it on Patreon for the patrons. So this is my setup. Hang on. There we go. I've taken a photo of it. Oh no, I bet I've lost where I was in chat now. No, I haven't. It's fine. Me Jones Sock says, why don't they leave her alone? I really don't know. Christine says, why the tabloids not talking about Prince Andrew and his friends' exploits? I haven't heard about his friends' exploits. Are we talking about old exploits or new exploits? I haven't heard any new exploits. And And obviously, Prince Andrew probably doesn't get as many column inches as Meghan and Harry and William and Catherine. So, but if you want to find out all the lesser known royal engagements, check my channel. I did a 10-minute compilation video of all the different lesser known royal engagements. So do go and check that out. It's packed full of engagements which you probably will not have seen or heard of. Oh, we have a super chat donation. By the way, there is super chat function where if you want to, for example, like give a tip to the channel, you can do that through super chat. And H.A. Bracken has donated $4.99, $4.99, not $499. That would be ludicrous. So I'm going to give H.A. Bracken a really big thank you and a fan flap. So thank you so much. It really does help. Ablaze says, I believe it's Bat Out of Hell. What did I say it was? Oh, I've got it listed as Bat the Musical. Maybe they didn't want to say hell. I've got it listed as Bat the Musical. Anyway, oh, yes, well, of course, it would be Meatloaf, wouldn't it? Now it makes sense. If they'd have said Bat Out of Hell, I would have known Meatloaf. My goodness. Mrs. BSN says, I was hoping the Duchess was going to her BFF's wedding. Must be so hard to miss because the wedding, the media would focus on the Duchess versus the bride. There's always going to be this media frenzy, I think. I mean, maybe it will die down. I don't know. It never did with Diana. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Okay, lots of people confirming it's Meatloaf. Thank you to Palmer Lee Stevens for saying I look dapper and well pulled together. Thank you so much. MSB 2012 is here. Karen says, I'm sure the tabloids will come up with some lie about why Meghan is not attending. Probably. I honestly don't think she was ever going to. Okay, I'm just skipping through a few things. Oh, apparently we have 334 people watching. How many? 384 according to it now. Mrs. BSN says, no tiara tonight. What is this? I do indeed have a tiara. I just haven't put it on. It is, of course, the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. So there we have it. And I will put it on a little bit later. So do remind me. I'm going to leave it here for a moment. Remind me to put it on. I'm just going to skip through. And yes, I agree with Ruth. Lots of work that goes on with the royals is behind the scenes. Sorry if I'm skipping a few questions. Annette says, is Doria in England yet? I've seen no photos. And when I did a live chat a few days ago, people said that they'd seen a recent photograph of her in the States. So I don't think so. But we haven't seen a photo in the UK to say that she is. So I would say no for now. Vinny Blair says the type of musical would not be the cause not to go. It's his charity funds to aid in Victor's games. She's home nesting. It depends what it is. And, you know, like I said, they do have their own solo program of engagements. It may just be that she doesn't want to go. You could be completely correct. She may just be nesting, wants to put her feet up. And there is nothing wrong with that, which I'm sure the media will try and say that there is. It's quite... That's how I feel. Bear Cub fan says, I like my brother-in-law just fine, but we're not best friends. Why do people expect the Duchesses to automatically be best friends? True. I would completely agree. Laurie Clark says, after you did the pop-up on the non-official comment I got on that site, the Gloucesters and Kents are still very hard-working. How lovely. They are indeed. And it's a very good page to go on to check statements. And also, if you want to check out what's up and coming in the royal calendar. Sandra says, how is the move to FC Frogmore Cottage, of course, any different than a move to Animal Hall? It's absolutely no different whatsoever. The only thing that I'm still in two minds about is whether or not Harry and Meghan are going to keep a base at Kensington Palace or not. I still think one would be useful. So in the official statement that was released, it didn't say they were giving up anything at Kensington Palace. It didn't say they were giving up Nottingham Cottage. It was only the news reporters that said that Frogmore Cottage was going to be their only home. So we still need to wait and see whether that is true or not. But I still think a base at Kensington Palace for when they're in London would be useful. Who knows? Joanne says, I crack up that people think 36 is old. I do too, because I'm pretty much near that age. So yes, it's definitely young. It's very young indeed. Yale says, do you think it's possible that Meghan went incognito to Priyanka's wedding in India? No. I think she's very high profile, and I don't think she'd get through. I think somebody would have found out. There is a possibility, but I don't think so, especially being pregnant. Sanju says, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Is Duchess Meghan and Prince Harry going to attend longtime pal Priyanka's wedding? Probably not. But then again, who knows? James Med 4 says, today is World's AIDS Day. I would like to remember all the great work of the late and beloved Diana, Princess of Wales did. May she continue to rest in heavenly peace. She did indeed do a lot of work for the cause and a lot of work in destigmatizing the whole issue, of which Prince Harry is still continuing. So yes, I concur on that one. Brooke says, as terrible as all the rumours and the lousy press attacks are, they sure do take our minds off our problems in the west side of the pond. I am sure they're very entertaining, although some of them just not true. Oh, we have another super chat donation. Annette White has donated $9.99, not $999, $9.99. So thank you so much to Annette for using the super chat function to give a little tip. Thank you so much. Mwah to you all. I'm just going through a few things. Jamie is here now. Hello to Jamie. Laurie Clark says, spent a lovely day putting up all my Christmas decorations, quite early for me, but I did wait until December the 1st. Don't tell Sheridan. Hello to Angel, who's made it. Sue Miller says, hope that Sheridan does not use satin sheets with his silk pajamas. One sneeze will propel him out of bed across the floor. I hope he doesn't too. That's a lot of slippage. My goodness. Sheridan and Tarquin would be on the floor. Arnold Sanders says, I found my old People mag from 2014 that talks about all the upgrades at Anmer Hall. They did. William and Catherine had, again, major renovations, new roof, orange rebuilt, connecting different bits up. So, yes, and associated groundworks as well. And actually, I would probably argue that Anmer Hall is even closer to a main public road than what Frogmore Cottage is, actually. And of course, let's not forget, Frogmore Cottage is within the Windsor protected protection zone or something of that nature. So I would probably say Frogmore Cottage is even more secluded than Anmer. T. French says, if William and Catherine spend Christmas with her parents, will they still attend service with the Queen in Sandringham? Not on Christmas Day. It's possible they may go to Sandringham for Boxing Day and enjoy all the Boxing Day festivities with the royal family. But Christmas Day, the Cambridges do like to alternate, as they have done in previous years. And I would definitely say that this year, I think it's all kind of pointing towards that they will be spending time with the Middletons on Christmas Day, and perhaps Boxing Day, we will see them. Thank you for all the outfit comments again. Christina says, if there is a personal diary, I'm sure any content will be from a made-up source filled with lies. I can't. I mean, okay. Meghan having a handwritten diary sounds feasible. She loves doing handwritten letters. She's big on handwriting. So that kind of makes sense that she would keep a handwritten diary. The fact that it would get lost, I'm not so sure about. And I think if it had really been lost, I think we'd be seeing a lot of leaks from it. And we kind of haven't, so. Vinnie Blair says, Meghan met Piers once. She did indeed. When she was killing time between engagements in London, he was an online acquaintance. True. Sandra T says, a diary in the UK is a calendar. In the USA, a diary is more like a journal. Oh, okay. Pouty Gorilla, I like the name, says, hello from the Virginia colony. Hello to everyone, wherever you are. Queen of the Bishop says, hello, Elliot. It's truly sad how bad fake news draws more attention than positive news. That is true. I mean, like I say, I try not to do, well, in fact, I don't think I have ever done fake news at all. I always try and check things out and make sure that things are true and accurate. And yes, you know, I wish my channel got the same amount of views as all those fake news channels, especially those really annoying ones that put out the fake news and then get on their high horse and say that people are picking on Meghan. They're trying to get the best of both worlds. And that is quite sickening, actually, and very contrived and spiteful. Cheryl Harrison says, good evening. You look rather dapper. Thank you again. Mrs. VSN says, the guest said the flowers smell so strong. That is one point I was going to make as well, that, you know, within the chapel, one of the things that can actually scent the air are the flower choices, all the flowers draped on the individual pews, all the main floral displays, the big arches outside the door. All of that will help to scent any venue that you might be having. Again, maybe they just thought that the atomizers just weren't necessary. Maybe they thought, or rather, maybe they knew that the flowers would be enough. But I certainly don't think they would have anything against atomizers, as they say. Biz Burgess says, since finding your site, I now refuse to click those money-grubbing liars. That is indeed what they are. James Med4 says, they did this to Fergie soon after her wedding. Meghan has great support from the royal household that Fergie didn't. That is true. I think things have definitely changed now for the younger royals, but the media interest is still there, and also the media lies. Let's have a look. I'm just scrolling down. Jamie sent a lovely bearskin hat emoji. Ruth says they had scented candles and flowers. Newest story is careless. This was reported on Near the Wedding. I hadn't heard it near the wedding, but again, you know, if they're allowing candles and strongly scented flowers and trees in Westminster Abbey, what's wrong with a few squits of atomizer? It's like me with my mist just going like that, you know, but in the air. I don't see the problem. Am I glowing with my rose mist? Is it making me glow? I think it might be. So yes, we see the fake news. We all know it's there. We see it loud and clear. Definitely loud and clear. Now, where were we? Nafeta Pri says, I think it's actually the people who want the monarch to go away. The tour brought a lot of coverage and the approval of the monarch is high right now. I think approval of the monarchy pretty much everywhere where it exists at the moment is very positive about the monarchy. And I don't think anywhere at the moment is particularly ready to say goodbye. I think it's something that anywhere in the Commonwealth can be very proud of. Karen says, I saw some people that were interviewed at the wedding and they said they loved the smell of all the flowers. Well, there you go. Meghan didn't have a big stinky wedding. Oh, that was going to be the title of one of my videos. I was going to put, Meghan causes a big stink. What do you think? Not fake news. Let's have a look. Sanju says, I think this time pregnancy is not so serious and hurting. Not heavily pregnant. Even when Duchess Kate was heavily pregnant, she used to travel overseas. She did, but obviously with Catherine in the early days, it was all that morning sickness. So she didn't do much traveling with all the morning sickness. Let's put it that way. Rabek's mom says they wouldn't have needed air fresheners in the chapel. Journalists commenting on the wedding said the smell in the chapel was overwhelming with all the roses. Well, there you go. Perhaps if initially she had suggested it, perhaps she was just told, oh no, you haven't got to worry, the flowers will be enough in our experience. So it could just be something as simple as that. But of course, with the fake news, it has to be Meghan was denied. The Queen said no. All this business. So over the top. Tracy McCain says, I've checked and it probably is The Bat Out of Hell, the musical. Maybe they didn't want to say the word hell. It is sponsored by the Invictus Games, which is why it's probably just Harry, which is what I said earlier. It's probably just, I mean, I know Meghan went to Invictus Games events, blah, blah, blah. But perhaps this is just something that he wanted to do on his own. And maybe Meghan literally just wanted to put her feet up, which is fine. Marie D says, I noticed that too. Two-faced media, they are. And yes, Princess Diana went through the same thing, as do many of the royals. D. Ray says, yes, the Sun ran a story saying the media was being unkind to Meghan after running horrible stories about Meghan. Yeah, I think they're cottoning on to this kind of backlash from fans. They're finding out that actually the fans aren't buying their stories. They don't like it, and they don't like the treatment of Meghan and the other royals too as well. And I think now they're kind of, they don't know what to do. They're kind of in a little bit of a hoopla themselves. They don't know whether to stick with all the fake stuff or put out supportive stuff, but then they need the fake stuff to put out the supportive stuff. So now I think they're just ending up doing both. Go figure. They've got themselves into a bit of a tiz. Asma says, my friend is following the Queen's cousin's great-granddaughter, and she said all of these rumours aren't true. And Meghan is very sweet and kind, and she was glad she's part of the royal family. I don't believe these fake rumours. Sorry if I'm skipping a few comments. I'm trying not to repeat some of the same things. Sandra says, I have seen a quiet change in the Duchess of Cambridge, the future Princess of Wales, and the Duchess of Sussex have different future roles. They do indeed. Thank you for all the comments about the outfit still. Yes, Vicky P. Carol did give an interview. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I don't think she ended up saying that much. I think the only detail that she actually gave away was about, I did read a little tiny snippet of it. The only thing I think she actually gave away was what George and Charlotte, not Louis yet because he's not old enough, what treat George and Charlotte had from their gran, which of course is Carol. Now, when they stay over at the Middletons, they obviously have a bedroom each, and they have their own Christmas tree. And Carol lets them decorate it how they want. So they each decorate their own tree. That was it. That was literally, I think, the only piece of information about them that kind of came out. So, you know, don't go expecting too much from it. That pretty much is it. The kids get a tree each and they decorate it. Yes, the fake news is exhausting. Joanne says a natural way to straighten hair is called a blow dryer. That is true. Ziva says Piers had such great things to say about the Duchess before she married Prince Harry. I think he just wanted an invite to the wedding. Now his tune has changed. You would think his big mouth that he was such a great judge of character. I'm not here to comment on Piers Morgan's big mouth. Annette says one of the YouTube videos quoted the CNN article word for word and didn't give credit as though it was their sentiments. It was US sentiments flipping sides again. Yes, a lot of these channels just copy and paste articles and headlines that are already been printed. They aren't very original, and they don't look and think and assess the stories and think, oh, that might not be true. Horrible sites. L. Michael A says Meghan has been too successful and they want to take her down and put her in her place. It's a theory. EAO says her hair, straight or curly, is natural. Well, it is. It is her natural hair. It's What they mean is obviously letting it be natural without any treatment or that kind of styling to it. Marlene says, you pronounce my name wrong. It's all, is it Marlene? 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 Which one? Denise says, I do love that brooch. It may be my favourite. Can you see? There you go. I'm trying to see if you can see it or not. Do I think Meghan is going to have a home birth? No, not for her first baby. There was all this again with Catherine saying that Catherine wanted a home birth. She never ended up having a home birth. I think it's always safer with your first child to have it in a hospital. I mean, I think now, if Catherine would have wanted, for example, a home birth with Louis after having 2 children, knowing, you know, what she knows about pregnancy and birth and being more comfortable with it, I'm sure the third baby, if she has a 4th one, and if she does want it, then maybe that would be okay. But I think for Meghan, it would be more sensible to go to the Lindo wing. I'm not saying she won't have a home birth, but you know, who knows? Her home might not even be ready by then. She can still have it, the baby at Nottingham Cottage. However, I think the Lindo wing is far more superior, and they really do take care of you. I mean, you are looked after. I mean, the irony is literally like a princess. I mean, they do everything. And I think if I was about to give birth, I think I'd be saying, let me in the Lindo wing immediately. Just let me in. I would not want a home birth over the Lindo wing. It is apparently out of this world. And if you are, you know, if you're having a baby, that is the Rolls Royce of having a baby, to have it in the Lindo wing. So I can't think that she would necessarily opt for a home birth for her first child, at least, over the Lindo wing. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Magical Gemi says, I'm just going to keep standing out, loving, positive energy towards Meghan and Harry. They need all the love and support they can get. Natheta Pri says, her natural hair is much to handle. You have biracial grandchildren and the upkeep of their hair is a nightmare. It is better to straighten. I don't have that hair myself, so I cannot comment. Although I do know it takes a long time to get this do done. And to keep it up all the time. But yes, I can quite imagine that, you know, having more curly type hair would be a lot more upkeep. How many viewers do we have? People are commenting. 416. Wow. Oh, Candice. Your wonderful sister-in-law brought you several boxes of fabulous fingers when she came over from England. They really are truly fabulous. I'm glad you like them. Now you know why I'm a humongous fan of fabulous fingers. I love a fabulous finger. Marlene or Marlin or Marlene says, what I meant by natural is the hair that she was born with, not the results of straightening or whatever she does. That's what I meant. Looks great either way, though. Okay, I'm skipping a few comments. Annette says, for all the gripes about renovating Frogmore Cottage and security, can you imagine I'm getting tongue-tied. Can you imagine if the Sussexes, try and say that fast, weren't adequately protected and something happened to them? Exactly. By the way, £5 million estimated cost for security. I'm not buying it. Do you know what? I'm buying fake news. I don't think it's going to cost £5 million for 1 year of security. Think about it. You know, what the average cost of a police officer, not Royal Protection Officer, a police officer is probably, what, £40,000 a year, something like that. You know, if you had a team of 4 police officers, 2 on each shift, 24 hours a day, outside the gates to protect, that's 2 police officers. It does not come anywhere near 5 million. Associated groundworks is not going to cost 5 million. You know, Royal Protection Officers, they already have them. They aren't going to have any more of them. You only get 1 Royal Protection Officer per person at any one time. So you aren't going to have extra. They've already got them. Security cameras, some groundworks, extra police officers, maybe some accommodation for the police officers. It's not going to come into £5 million. I think that is a wildly exaggerated cost. It may take, $1 million or so to renovate the cottage. Old buildings do take money, but I'm doubting very much the £5 million security cost for 1 year. It seems very excessive to me. And I'd love to know a breakdown of those cost estimates. Oh, Ruth says about the hair comment. Not sure if this is Meghan's situation, but you have hair similar and your hair fell straight during childbearing years. Oh, wow. I think Meghan's probably hoping. No, I haven't applied for a job with the Royals. I have my family and everything up here. It wouldn't work, me living in London. Marcilla says, I loved your Showdown bouquet video yesterday. You was in stitches. I'm glad. Mimi Thomas says, looking very festive tonight. Well, thank you. It is very festive. Maybe I can open a button. Shall we open a button or two? Wow, look. Yes, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Shall we do the tiara now? I think we might have to do the tiara. Okay. Da, da, da. The Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara is going on now. There we go. Okay, we have the tiara on. The Girls of Great Britain and Ireland is looking rather stunning. I do like it. What do you think? Does it go with the outfit? So I'm trying to do some thumbnail photos then. And yes, you can use a flat iron to straighten the hair. And Vinnie Blair is tired of all the hair talk, who says you're not going to see an afro. Ablaze says, I heard that Meghan Markle wants to have a home birth. I've just talked about that. That's fine. Emerson B 2012 says, no one asked Catherine to wear her hair natural. Curling is okay with everyone, I guess, but not straightening. D Ray says, I enjoyed your video on the lesser known royal engagements. Well, thank you so much. Oh, Cynthia has donated $2.99 via Super Chat. Thank you, Cynthia. I don't think I saw that message yet. So thank you so much to Cynthia. Let's have a look. I'm just skipping a few comments. Oh, Live and Love and Laugh says, I saw a channel on YouTube claiming the money raised from the cookbook is funding terrorism. It's not. It's funding a kitchen. My goodness. Candice Bunting says, that is a lovely tiara. Looks like a crown. It's a replica Queen's Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Asma said, did I see your comment? Probably not. Type it again if I haven't read it and it's really important. Type again. People saying Doria is still in California. Well, there you go. Until we see her here in the UK, we don't know that she is. Christina says, Omid Scobie, the journalist, stated Doria is in Los Angeles. She did not visit Meghan while Harry was in Zambia. Well, there you go. Like I said, she hasn't been seen, and people did say that they have seen her in America. Sonia said, really enjoying your weekly video on the lesser known royal engagements. Rather sad that there has been nothing really in the media about the Duke of York being in Australia versus Harry and Meghan hype. Exactly. Which is, there are lots of channels that specialize in just Harry. Well, I wouldn't say specialize. I would say they fakerize in Harry and Meghan news. And they don't tend to do any other royals kind of, unless it's like a really big story. Whereas I do try and focus on all of the royals. That's why I am a royal reviewer, not Harry and Meghan this, Harry and Meghan that. Okay, I'm just looking for a comment. Linda Lee says, I love how Diana brought the royal family down to earth and approachable by raising her incredible sons. They want to contribute to society, refreshing, and I'm sure they will carry on her legacy through their children as well. And yes, I agree, Pouty Griller. The moderators are doing an excellent job. Thank you so much. Ken says, is there some significance to the donations ending in 99? I don't know. I can imagine that's maybe just an option. Maybe there's different options you can select. I've spoken again about the home birth. Christina says, fake news that Harry went to Zambia without Meghan because he's stressed over the negative news. Totally fake. Meghan, again, wasn't ever down to go on that trip. So there we go. And we know it's not because of Zika, because it's been proven that country didn't have Zika. And Meghan went to a country that had Zika anyway, when she was visiting on the Australian tour. And no, 99 is not my age, HN the King, you cheeky so-and-so. I did answer Annette about the Meghan's diary. I've not seen any proof of a diary being stolen, and certainly no big things have come out from it. So, you know, who knows? But I certainly haven't heard any proof of it. Kathy G says, "What is Boxing Day?" It is the day after Christmas. The day after Christmas, the 26th of December, is known as Boxing Day here in the UK, and we do have boxing matches shown on TV. But I believe I think it goes back to Tudor times or that kind of thing, where they had lots of sport and that kind of thing after Christmas Day, if I'm not mistaken. Vinny Blair says, after the Oceania trip, Meghan's doctor likely told her to give the India trip a miss. It is not an easy thing to sit for a day in an aircraft, especially if your back aches and being slightly more pregnant too. And Jamie says, Boxing Day is a UK equivalent of... Do you know what? I want an actual official definition of what Boxing Day is, because it is hard to explain what it is. Let's have a look. There has to be an official definition of what it is. Oh no, hang on. Okay, Boxing Day, this is an official thing. Boxing Day is a holiday celebrated on the day after Christmas. I said that. It originated in the United Kingdom and is celebrated in a number of countries that previously formed part of the British Empire. Boxing Day is on the 26th of December, although the attached bank holiday or public holiday may take place either on that day or 2 days later. That is true. It is the liturgical calendar of Western Christianity. Boxing Day is the second day of Christmastide and also St. Stephen's Day. It is also celebrated as St. Stephen's Day in Ireland and Catalonia. Did it say about the history of it? Okay, it's kind of quite long and boring, so I'm not going to go into it. But in Britain, we do have boxing matches shown on TV. There we go. Back to the chat room. EAO says home birth probably not true. I would kind of agree with that one. And I'm sure if Meghan's diary was stolen and they catch people, they will be prosecuted. But again, I haven't seen any evidence of that. And yes, I agree that birth won't be publicly discussed until it happens. Eileen says, do I think Catherine's tearful response to the bridesmaid's dress fitting was due to the horrible hem on Princess Charlotte's dress for the royal wedding and lack of hosiery socks? No. Well, first of all, we don't know that she did cry. So she either did cry or she didn't. Now, we aren't going to know that. But so if she didn't cry, there's no news. Let's say she did cry. Let's go down all the options. Let's say she did cry. Well, why may she have cried? The media was saying it's because Meghan made her cry because Meghan was being horrible. I'm not buying that. Hey, I see fake news. So I'm not buying that one. So what could be another reason about why a mother would cry when their daughter is trying on a bridesmaid's dress? Well, perhaps she was proud. Perhaps she was happy and they were happy tears. But no, happy tears don't get column inches. Sad tears do. So I'm thinking if she did cry, it was probably just happy tears. Pride tears. Why don't people report that? But again, we don't know if she did cry or not. Goodbye to Veronique. Beverly says, in the UK, do people decorate the outside of their houses with lights? In the US, we drive around and look at lights. Yes, it's becoming a lot more popular here in the UK. Lots of people do decorate their houses. However, it's still nowhere near as big as people in America do it. I mean, people in America do it on a much bigger scale. It is more widely popular, just the same as Halloween is much bigger. Although both holidays, Halloween, the Christmas lights, are getting a lot bigger in the UK. There are some houses that really go to town and people do drive by. There are some houses that have special events at their houses and people turn up. But generally, you know, the average British house maybe just puts a few fairy lights up in their living room window, or maybe decorate, you know, a front or a back garden tree with lights, that kind of thing. So it's not as big in the UK, but I think it's getting there. I think it will be one day. Okay, I'm skipping a few things. Oh, Sandhu says, Royal Inquisitor is the most tabloid media to create fake news. There are so many of them. There really are. Jeff says, can you say hello to me? I can. Hello, Jeff. Sandra T says, can we assemble a list of hateful sites? Like a name and shame? We possibly could. Sweet Serenity loves my misting. Okay, I'm going to skip a few because I want to get down some of these questions. Asma says, did I see your comment? No. Did you type it again? I haven't seen it. If I haven't read it, I haven't seen it. Gregory C says, why don't I see what you are reading? Because I'm really far behind in the chat. Because I stop and talk and answer the questions, I get really far behind. So I'm always playing catch up, which is why I'm trying to skip a few questions. Christina likes Princess Anne. She's such a hard-working royal and doesn't get the amount of press that she should, but she does in my compilation video. Sanju says, why doesn't Prince Harry go to court for charges against the fake news tabloids? We don't traditionally really that much in the UK, and in particular the royal family. And my goodness, can you imagine if they sued every single fake news story? I get the point that if they did tackle some of the stories, maybe there'd be less fake news stories, but it's just something they don't do. They don't comment on personal matters because it opens up to more expectation of comment if a fake news story does come out. Yes, Catherine did travel to other European countries while she was pregnant. And yes, I agree. Traveling further afield is a slightly different matter. Dreamcast says that there's a new movie coming out based on Queen Anne. She was quite a character. Have you read up on her? I know about Queen Anne, but I didn't know they were doing a film. So, wow. Do you know when it's released? Live, Love and Laugh says, is the Queen the only one who has had home births? Anyone else? I mean, traditionally, home births do go back in the royal family. Diana was, of course, one of the first to actually just go to a regular hospital, although not a regular hospital. The Lindo wing, like I said earlier, is spectacular, but it was the norm to have a home birth. So there wouldn't be anything breaking protocol or anything like that business if she did decide, or Catherine in the future decides to have a home birth. I just think nowadays, with all the modern luxuries and comforts that you can get in a private luxury hospital, maternity wing, why would you not go there? Seriously. I mean, I'm sure that the Lindo wing could send people out and provide for a safe and effective home birth. But like I said, they really do take care of you in that Lindo wing. Rhonda says Harper's Bazaar printed an online article saying Buckingham Palace issued a comment saying there weren't any issues between Catherine and Meghan. I've made a video on it. I went on the official royal website and there was no mention of any statements or comments. I checked Twitter to make just to see if something had been maybe tweeted instead of being put out officially. There was nothing there. I have not seen head nor tail of a statement or a comment or anything. I've checked the royal correspondence Twitters again, no mention of it. I haven't seen it. If you do see it, let me know where it is, but certainly nothing that I know of anyway. Arnold Sanders says that the media are trying to make Meghan sound like some kind of hippie with all the talk of her diet and home birth and public breastfeeding. She is not going to whip one out in the middle of Sainsbury's. Let's put it that way. My goodness, where do they get these stories from? Annette says, it was my understanding home births were the thing until Diana went to the hospital for her boys. If Meghan's into home birth, would she still have to come out in front of Frogmore with a baby in 4 hours? Most definitely not. T French says, did you already watch and comment about the American documentary? I didn't. I never saw it. I do need to. I think it's still online. I didn't ever go and watch it. I do need to. There's been so much going on. I just haven't had the chance. And yes, the palace did have a fully equipped delivery suite for the Queen with a home berth, especially a royal home berth. You can get whatever you want in, but I just don't think Meghan's going to. Muriel says, what's with the tiara off your head? Which one is it? It is the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. And by the way, my other tiaras that I ordered, I've got 5 coming. They haven't come yet. So when they do, we will be having a tiara explosion. A tiara haul video. Thank you to Sweet Serenity, who says, thank you for all your efforts, keeping us informed. You're wonderful. Thank you so much. Sandra T says, CNN Today and the US channel CNN News are not the same. Rhonda says, you think Diana stopped the home birth trend? Well, there's not been any since then. Yes, probably fake news that, well, it was fake news that Catherine was having twins. Sanju says, the Royal Family channel is the official channel for the Royal Family. It's not. They used to post the videos of engagements. Why this channel didn't post videos of attending engagements of other royals? The Royal Family channel is not. The Royal Family channel is ITV, which is a it's a terrestrial channel in the UK. It is not the official channel. It's a news channel. It's not an official channel. What is the official channel is the Royal Family. The Royal Family is the official channel of the monarchy. The Royal Family channel is not. Sandra T says, Linda Wing would provide whatever birth Her Royal Highness wants. Exactly. But we'll have to just wait and see with the home birth thing. Jason Lewis Young says, when does the Queen and Prince Philip travel to Sandringham? It's usually the on the week before Christmas. Karen Mitchell says, with Meghan being over 35 and her first baby, it is safer to go to the hospital. I bet she is going to a hospital. Actually, I can probably get the date of when she last went to Sandringham for Christmas. So I'm going to type in. It's very easy to check facts. I don't know why people don't do it. Queen Elizabeth, Christmas, Sandringham. Right, let's see what comes up. I think we can get the actual date. Oh, no, I know what I'm going to do. Type in train. There we go. Here we go. Okay, so in 2017, it was the 21st of December. There we go. So the Queen last year travelled to Sandringham on the 21st of December. So it's likely it will be Christmas week. Karen Mitchell says, when Meghan, with Meghan being over 35 and her first baby, it is safer to go to the hospital. I bet she's going to hospital. I think so too. Okay, Shining Star, I don't know which comment you're on about, but you say, that is the most ignorant comment I have ever heard. Your poor children will now grow up hating their hair. Shameful. I don't know which comment you're referring to, or who made it. Sue Miller says, you having a baby is the one thing that would make all the fake news reports disappear. It would indeed. Maybe we should, maybe Sheridan could get pregnant. Yes, Arnold, you need to let me catch up. Sonia says, doesn't really matter how many births you have had. You've had 5 children and each and every delivery was totally different. Your 4th and 5th were emergency C-sections. You can never be complacent. Well, there we go. That confounds my opinion that I think hospital is most likely. Tracy said, I'm just reading the Harper's Bazaar article and they are stating that Buckingham Palace did make a rare statement to quell the Catherine and Meghan rumours. Where is it? Like I say, I haven't seen it tweeted by any royal correspondent. I haven't seen it on any news channels. It's not on the official royal website. It's not on Twitter. It's not on Instagram. Where is it? Who is it issued to? If it is there, tell me and I will put it out there, but I haven't seen it. And they wouldn't just issue it to Harper's Bazaar. Let's put it that way. Sweet Trinity loves my glasses. My opera glasses. Christina, I agree. £5 million a year to protect Harry and Meghan is not likely. Lots of people liking the brooch. And I also don't think it would take £5 million to renovate the cottage. I mean, for goodness sake, you could buy a plot of land literally in the middle of nowhere, a big acreage of land. You could build something probably 5 times as big as the cottage for £5 million and secure it. So I don't think renovation costs would even be £5 million for the cottage. It's a cottage. It's not. It's not some massive humongous. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to renovate it. It will be a lot of work, and problems do arise from old buildings, and it's a listed building as well, so that compounds it. But it is not £5 million worth of renovation. Lots of people liking the tiara. Thank you so much. And hello to you, Sticky Toes. Lots of people saying they love the tiara. Thank you. Annette, you don't have to leave 4 hours later. Some ladies who stay at the Lindo wing stay in there a couple of weeks. Seriously, they are that well looked after. They don't want to go. But Catherine obviously wants to just get out there and put the media circus to sleep, basically. So not all the mums get up 4 hours after birth and present their baby on the steps. You're not kicked out after 4 hours. No, I don't think the rumours stem from the PA who resigned. This Melissa, no, I don't. Sticky Toe says, I will fit your kitchen if you want. Why are you offering me a new kitchen? Granite worktops, please. Shola Forbes says, do you think Meghan and Harry will raise their child as normal as possible? In the same way that Diana tried to raise William and Harry as normal as possible. You're never going to be as normal as possible with being a royal and having high-profile royal parents. It's just not going to happen. The most they can hope for is probably the same kind of upbringing that maybe William and Harry had in terms of being taken to theme parks, being shown homeless shelters, that kind of thing. But they are always going to go to private schools. They'll probably end up in Eton doing their then going off to university. They are not going to have normal upbringing. They will have royal protection. It can never be normal, but I'm sure they will continue the work that Diana started in showing them the homeless, taking them to the Grenfell kitchen and that kind of thing. So they will know. I'm sure they will grow up knowing that they are fortunate and that other people in the world don't have what they have. When do I think Meghan's patronages will be announced? Gradually. I think they'll be announced gradually as and when she picks things and chooses things that really fit with what she wants to do. Kathy Hendricks says, how does the house rating work in the UK? You don't have it in the States. Promote Cottage, is that an actual cottage? Is rated 2 listing. Do you mean Harry and Meghan's cottage? Yes, so we have a grade 1 listing, which is I think it's classed as something like a building of outstanding national importance. Then grade 2 is just a little bit lower, but still incredibly important. And what it means is you have restrictions on what you can do with it. If it's grade 1 listed, it means you have to literally apply to the council if you want to paint the outside of it or things like that. And it definitely comes into play when you're renovating a grade listed building, 1 or 2, because there will be certain requirements and building regulations that you have to comply with. And they will even stipulate above your wishes what you can and can't do. So Meghan and Harry may have to jump through a few hoops to, in fact, just simply having the orangeries put on, they will have had to have gone through a lot of detailed planning work. Asma says, you also look very handsome with that tiara and it suits you. Well, thank you so much. Stephanie, is someone saying Prince Philip had a heart attack? No. Unless it happened literally since I've been on chat, no. Hello to Dawn. Vianua, we've already spoke at length about what's going on, possibly, or rather not going on with Kate and Meghan. And I agree that the dukes and duchesses and princes and princesses do not have to attend engagements together. Sue Miller says Boxing Day refers to the opening collection boxes in churches to distribute the money to the poor. It happens on the 26th of December each year. I think everyone has their own different version of Boxing Day. Oh, and Vinny has checked. Prince Philip is not dead. There we go. And Elizabeth says, you are mistaken about Boxing Day. It's when traditionally the servants open their presents, their boxes on the day after Christmas. Well, we've had 3 different meanings so far. Which one is correct? Tracy says, my grandmother's 95th birthday is on Boxing Day. Yes, the media has made Harry and Meghan the main focus so far. Annette, I've not heard the story about the envelope with white powder in it. Oh, hang on, we did, didn't we? This is going back a while. Yes, I think I do remember it, actually. But that was, I think, was that even before the engagement? And yes, Maya, the grading listing is depending on age and what qualities there are in the building. Like I said before, you're right, grade 1 is the highest and grade 2 is the next down. And there are so many hoops that you have to go through if you have a listed building. Sometimes it's not good to have a listed building. Okay, I'm just skipping through a few comments. Okay, Christina, you've read fake news that Meghan is not 37, but actually older, and they have proof. What proof? Meghan is the age that she says she is. Do you honestly think you could lie about your age and be so high profile in terms of being royal? No. Kathy says that is supposed to be Frogmore Cottage on my question of house rating. I did kind of get I got there in the end. Mrs. BSN says, if there is no release on official Twitter accounts, Clarence House, no, there's no statement. I have looked high and low for this supposed statement. I can't see it. Okay, Ken says later in the Wikipedia article, it does say that Boxing Day was related to certain service providers to receive gift boxes from customers. Shoelaces wants boxing matches. There's one tonight, a really big one. Christina says, all this fake news is hysterical but harmful. I think it is indeed. Hello to Bunny from Ohio. I think Meghan will be able to... Well, I think she has adjusted to royal life. I just think all this media storm is just not... It's not true. So therefore, you know, Meghan has adjusted. I think she's adjusted very well. Karen says, I cried happy tears when my son was in a wedding and had his little tux on. He looked so cute. I thought Charlotte looked beautiful. Well, maybe they were just happy tears. No, there are no more housing grades. Just the two. Grade 1 and grade 2. Midnight Hazel says, what is the difference between a tiara and a crown? I asked because the tiara you're wearing kind of looks like a crown. Well, it is kind of spiky like a crown, but a crown is, it's kind of like an embodiment. It's like a figure of the state. So, for example, in the UK, we have the imperial state crown and we have the St. Edward's crown. So they are kind of like a representation in a materialistic object of the state. So the Queen wears it on her head and it's full of symbolism. Also, physically, a crown is a full circle. A diadem can also be a full circle, but is not necessarily as tall or as big as a crown. A diadem might also kind of grade down towards the back and go up towards the front. A tiara is like mine. It kind of goes, you know, maybe 3/4 around the head. And a tiara can be worn for less formal occasions. I mean, the Queen only wears the crown for, you know, your coronation or the state opening of Parliament. So you can wear a tiara to a banquet or, you know, as royals have in the past, even a film premiere. So a tiara is a lot lighter. And you can wear to dinners, state banquets, film premieres, that kind of thing. White tie events. Stephanie says, Boxing Day is celebrated in America in the Episcopal, I can't say that word, Episcopal Church. I haven't said that right, have I? I do apologise. Okay, I'm skipping through a few. I don't know what Kwanzaa Day is. What is Kwanzaa Day? Laurie Clark says, did the Princess Royal have her children at home? Was she the first to go to hospital before Diana? I can't remember now. I think she hospitaled, didn't she? I think she may have hospitaled. Yes, I think she hospitaled. Right, I'm just going through a few things. Jason Lewis Young says, the Queen wished to stay at Clarence House when she ascended to the throne, but wasn't allowed. I read that Charles wants to stay there and might not move into Buckingham Palace. Would this be allowed when he's king? When he's king, he would have a choice. I think the Queen, it was different times when the Queen became Queen. We know, well, we don't know. It's rumoured that he intends to stay at Clarence House. Now, Clarence House is technically right next door to St. James's Palace, which is actually the official seat of the monarchy. So actually, Prince Charles, in staying at Clarence House by St. James's Palace, would historically be correct, because St. James's Palace is actually the seat of the monarchy. It was only from Queen Victoria's day that she used Buckingham Palace as the official residence, but the home of the monarchy still remains St. James's Palace as it does today. So by staying close to St. James's Palace, Charles would actually be a lot more in line with history. And obviously he wants to use Clarence House as is home, Buckingham Palace as the office. It could work, and we'll have to see if that is his wish and if indeed he does get what he wants. And I agree, Prince Philip does seem to be enjoying his retirement immensely with all the carriage driving and that kind of thing. Annette says, do they really have all these doctors and midwives and specialists in the hospital when a royal gives birth? Lots of people, not that giving birth preserves your privacy. I know that for a fact. I think it's a normal delivery team, I do believe. I did watch a programme on it once, on the Lindo Wing. I think it is a normal delivery team, but the aftercare and the pre-care that you get is out of this world. Rhonda says, Sheridan pregnant. You are going to be rich. Rich, I say. Sheridan may be pregnant. Tarquin's lucky. Tracy says, I am just reading on the Harper's Bazaar webpage. I also cannot find it anywhere else, just there. I've looked. I have looked. Before I made the video saying that it was untrue, I looked absolutely everywhere. And even in my video I made, I said, look, if you can find it anywhere, let me know. No, I've never visited Sandringham. And that's Jason's question. And I agree, it must be very magical this time of year, especially with Queen Victoria's glass angels hung on the Queen's tree. Oh. Will my parents ever join me on my live chats? No, because I live in a different house. And my dad's away on business. And yes, I agree. By leaving quickly from the Lindo Wing, royal moms allow the other new moms to have their privacy again. And it's definitely the dispersing of the media, I think, that they want. Vinny Blair says, Harper's Bazaar is quoting the Mirror, the font of all knowledge, and is quoting a palace source. Oh, okay. And they can't give a direct quote. I'm definitely calling it fake news. Ugh. Okay. I need a drink. Let me just have a little bit of a drink. Okay, I need that little bit of a drink. Right, let's go back to the comments. Sorry, I'm skipping a few comments. Christine says, when baby Sussex is born, the internet will crash. Who knows? Mrs. VSN says, if they have medically checked out okay, the OB doctor, then it's great for them to go home. Of course, they won't let Meghan out of anywhere unless she's well enough to do so. And the Wessexes live at Bagshot Park, which is in the Windsor Great Park. So not a million miles away from where Harry and Meghan will be staying, or indeed the Duke of York, and of course the Queen. Wanda Washington finally caught a live chat. Hello to you. James Med4 says royal protection officers must make at least £80,000 to £100,000 to start. But even if it did cost $5 million, the Sussexes raise millions a year for UK charities. Security is a non-starter in these terms and times. Okay, I'm just skipping a few comments. Thank you again for the outfit comments that have been always coming through. I really do appreciate them. Apparently there are, how many watching? 375 at the moment. And yes, the Queen's crowns are very heavy. She said once that they, could snap your neck. Wanda Washington loves my vest and bow tie. Well, thank you. It's very festive, December the 1st. Okay. Just skipping through. Yes, I don't think Meghan could hide her age. If she wants to drive, she will have to present her real age, which I think is the age that she says she is. D. Ray says, thank you for clearing up some of these rumours. You are more than welcome. My cats, they're outside. No, they're not. They're in the house, but they're not in the room. That's what I mean. They're outside of the room. I did let them in. They blew in and then they kind of blew out again. Oh my goodness! I think I've actually caught up. Well, hey, are royals allowed to have baby showers? There is nothing against baby showers. Oh, Sandra says, I'm sorry to call Prince Edward as Prince Andrew. Really sorry. Do not worry. Is Angelina Jolie still in England? I'm not sure. I haven't seen any recent pictures. I'd imagine she'd have flown off unless she's doing something else, but I haven't heard of anything. And yes, all ambassadors are credited to the Court of St. James because it is, of course, the official seat of the monarchy. Shelley Ellis says the royal family by birth has a life of service bestowed upon them. They are not perfect and neither are any of us. Very true. Encourage, inspire and bless each other no matter royal or not. I would agree with those sentiments wholeheartedly. Sandra T says, I read that all the Duchess of Cambridge's births were handled by midwives at the Linda Wing. They were indeed. In the US hospital, birth are attended. Oh yes, there would have been a doctor too. There would have been a doctor. It would not just have been midwives. She would have been under the direction of a doctor, definitely. Natalie, we've already been through all the kind of stories about Harry and Meghan and all these, the Fab Four falling out. So I'm not going to repeat myself, but it's in here. It's in the live chat. So if you've missed anything, do go back and check. Do I think we'll have a royal wedding with Princess Beatrice? No, I think it's still very early days, and I think a wedding is a long way off. Jamie says, or rather HM the King says, next to Clarence House in St James's Palace is Lancaster House, where The Crown was and is filmed. The Crown, of course, being the Netflix drama, which I can't wait for. I really want to see it. Wanda Washington says, when Charles becomes king, will the Sussex baby be a prince? Yes. Unless, of course, the Queen intervenes in the meantime. But I'm thinking maybe she won't, because their time will come. They will be HRH and Prince or Princess when Charles becomes king. HM the King says, Lancaster House has become a glorified movie set within the guarded area. What a lovely movie set to have too. I would love to go on and perform. Sheridan Bouquet performs in The Crown. So yeah, oh, by the way, have I missed anything from my notes? We've spoken at length about the ongoing Fab Four saga. We've spoke. Oh, yes. If you haven't seen my review of the Queen's umbrella, do go check it out. I've made a video on the Queen's birdcage see-through umbrella. So do go and check it out. That's the present that I was waiting for this weather to happen. I wanted it to rain so I could test out the umbrella. So if you want a good look at the Queen's umbrella, do go and check it out. We've kind of spoken about the Duke's visit to Zambia. That was Prince Harry's. The Queen's Christmas tree. Yeah, we've kind of gone through everything that I wanted to. When will season 3 be realised? Is it January? I think it's definitely in the new year. Not before Christmas this year. Yes, I do have an advent calendar and I will be showing it. I'll be showing it in my weekly vlogs. By the way, are you enjoying the weekly vlogs? Midnight Hazel loves her birdcage umbrella. It's amazing. I love mine. June says, I like Princess Beatrice. I hope she gets married soon. I don't think it'll be that soon. Jamie says the Crown is out in early 2019. Still no official date. I'm thinking January. Barbara says, I really liked your review of the lesser-known royals, or rather lesser-known royal engagements. Thank you so much. EAO loved the vlogs. Oh, by the way, did you like the premiere feature I did for the last vlog, where you could all watch it with me and ask me questions about it? I really enjoyed that. So I think I might do that again. Did you miss a recent unboxing? No, I'm going to do one for this week's weekly vlog. Asma says, when you go to Wikipedia, it says Meghan's date of birth was August the 4th, 1981. So I don't know why these fake news and gossip sites and videos are saying she's older. She would not hide her age at all. I do not believe. Goodbye to Margaret, who is off. I will be going soon too. No, I don't think we will ever see a proper interview with the Queen. I think we've seen as close as we're going to in terms of interview style. Beverly says you had those type of umbrellas in the 70s and they were quite popular. Sanju says, why these channels didn't cover and post a video of Prince Andrew, Princess Anne and Prince Edward attending the other engagements? Because they don't care. They just want the headline-grabbing fake news stories. Denise likes the roundup videos. Thank you so much. Let's have some more water. Okay, I think... Oh, well, Wanda says it's raining in Florida. You need a birdcage umbrella. Then you can go out and be seen. You can have fabulous hair and hats with a birdcage umbrella. Well, I'm afraid time is drawing to a close. It is time for me to say goodbye, and I've really enjoyed this live chat. I will be back next week live at 10 o'clock on Saturday. So please stay tuned all through the week. I will be posting videos like I always do. If you've missed any of my videos, do go back and check. Hit the video tab and put it into latest videos, and all my latest videos will come up. Only my live chats are displayed on the homepage of my channel. So if you don't want to miss any, go to the video tab and do latest videos. All of them will come up. So thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this week's live chat, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media. And of course, hit that notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. And of course, I will be looking for all of the fake news, all of the fakery I will be looking for. So from me in Shropshire, goodbye.